let's take a look at the point props for some of the key players that are involved in this tonight. Clearly, a lot is on the shoulders of Jalen Brunson to get this done for sure. His is 23.5. Julius Randle, 21.5. RJ Barrett, 17.5 on the side of the Knicks. And then for the Cavs, we have Spider Mitchell at 29.5. Darius Garland, 21.5. Evan Mobley at 13.5. So in your deep dives and statistical analysis, Zach, of this game, does anything stick out to you amongst those 6 props?
Yeah, so I would definitely go Jalen Brunson over. He's definitely going to kind of get back to his best self in this contest. He was very good, but not perfect in the last game. Julius, 3 for 10. That won't stick. I would still go with his under. And then on RJ Barrett, he's been a lot better than advertised. I would still take his under. So I go Brunson over, Randall and Barrett under. They're going to be close. So they're going to be watching until the final possession for those 2 lines. Brunson should get his fine. I'm going to go over on Garland and Mobley, but under on Mitchell. Since scoring 38 in game 1, we haven't seen that Donovan Mitchell. Now, he could be great. He could prove me wrong, but I'm feeling like the one Cavs win, Craig, is when Donovan was the de facto point guard and Darius kind of became the 2 guard. So I'd love to see them flipped. And I think Evan Mobley is only averaging 11 in the series. And he's not even shooting a poor percent, shooting near 50%, 10 a game. I think he has to be good for them to win. I think with all the attention that's been on him, he's going to step up and prove that he can score over 13.5. Finally. He hasn't done it yet, but it will happen.
Boy, I hope this season for you extends past tonight, but certainly the way that it looks right now, at least on paper, is this better be a must-win, or else, I don't know, what is Locked On Cavs at this point? Look at the offseason? I hope not. I hope you get a chance to keep talking tonight.
Yeah, I hope it does go beyond tonight. I give a lot of credit to the Knicks. I did not expect them to come in and play the way they did. You know, all the credit to them. Mitchell Robinson was a beast. Josh Hart was incredible. And Tom Thibodeau not playing Julius Randle in the 4th quarter of a playoff game, giving them a win, is not something we'd ever thought we'd actually hear said in real time. So I hope it goes beyond tonight, and looking forward to breaking down what has to happen for the Cavs to get us to game 6 on Friday night.
All right, so the Cavs are expected to win tonight, but stranger things have happened in the NBA because, again, backs are against the wall. Game is in Cleveland. They're 6.5-point favorites. Total here is just over 200, and obviously we know that if the Knicks win, they're in, and they move to the next round here. But, you know, certainly the odds are telling us tonight, Zach, that Cleveland's got a good shot at least to send this thing back to the Garden.
Yeah, they play very well at home. Over 30 victories in Cleveland on the regular season. That's where they really made their money. That's where they got it done. This is a game where I feel like we have to look at the under. You know, you think about the playoffs, and there's certain teams and certain series where it's like, okay, Steph's playing, De'Aaron's playing, let's go with the over. In this case, Don only scored, 11 points in game 4, only 2 points after the break. I think he's due to break out, and I know we're going to get to some props in a moment. But I think it's a case where you have to ride the under because this hasn't been a pretty series. The Knicks are shooting under 30% from 3, 42% from the field. Cavs haven't been much better. So it's going to be defense that would have to send the Cavs to the next round.
The Lakers are overwhelming favorites right now to win their series against the Memphis Grizzlies. But if you look at the odds, Zach, tonight, a lot of folks are expecting the Grizzlies to at least not only stay competitive, but maybe win. On the money line, it's just about $1.80. They're 4-point favorites tonight, total 222. If the Lakers were to lose again, this game would go back to Los Angeles for the end. But can Memphis get it done tonight and send this thing to a 6th game?
So a couple things have to happen for the Grizzlies to win. And funnily enough, the most important thing is just about defending. They have the Defensive Player of the Year by the name of Jaren Jackson Jr. He has to guard Anthony Davis, Craig, and it's pretty clear that they can't guard Anthony Davis. Whether or not he's scoring at will doesn't matter. They can't keep him off the glass. They can't stop his playmaking, and they can't stop his incredible shot-blocking domination. If AD's on the court, they don't win. If he gets 35 minutes, there's no chance. They got to get him in foul trouble, attack him, do what they can. Obviously, John Morant is a great candidate for that. The second is shooting threes. They have not done it all that well. I think they have to step up and make them. The Lakers' lack of three-point shooting hasn't even hurt them in the series. And number 3, Craig, is bench scoring. Luke Kennard leads the way at about 7 a game. Then they got David Roddy, they got Tyus Jones, they got Santi Aldama. A few of those aren't household names. Some of them are, but I think they're going to need at least one of those guys to get into double figures and really provide relief because the starters had to do everything last game. And we've seen Dylan Brooks And that's all I need to say about that.
All right, so one of the biggest point spreads in the NBA playoffs is tonight, as the Milwaukee Bucks are also facing a win or go home situation. They're down 3-1 in the series. And Zach, they're 11.5-point favorites tonight with a total of 219.5. Jimmy Butler had a game for the ages in the last Miami Heat playoff game. He had 56 points. I guess the question, look, a lot of people feel the Bucks will win tonight and send it back to Miami, and then I think at that point it's going to be really interesting. But 11.5, does that seem like a lot of points to you, or just simply put, is the Heat just all in on getting back to Miami and closing it out in Game 6?
I think that looks like a lot because the Heat really took care of business. They were down 15 in the second half before ultimately winning pretty cleanly in those last couple minutes. Yeah, Jimmy's the first guy to score 50 in a playoff game in Heat history. Not LeBron, not Dwayne Wade, not in the earlier years of the 90s Heat, not Tim Hardaway. Jimmy buckets, fourth most ever in a playoff game behind, of course, Donovan Mitchell coming into that conversation. But that is a little high to me. I do like the Bucks to win tonight, but I feel safe with my money. If I did go money line, I might win less that way, but Miami's just so tough. Caleb Martin and Kyle Lowry have just looked so good on the defensive end of the floor, making enough shots. And you think about no Victor and other guys being out of the lineup, they don't skip a beat. So if I'm the Bucks and I want to cover, attack Duncan Robinson, attack Kevin Love, and go after those guys that don't defend that as high of a level.